Hello guys, today we are going to see the next topic related to the CV2, that is to learn the how to draw the geometric shapes on the image. Okay, so let you introduce regarding to the program. So the program is very easy. First you need to import the CV2 library, then after that on which image you want to draw the different shapes, that you need to read using the imread function. The command is very easy, cv2.imread, and which file you want to read. It is the first argument, and the second argument, you know that the second argument is the, if you are giving 1, you are reading in RGB format. If you are giving 0, then you are reading in a grayscale format, and if you are reading if you are using 0 minus 1, then you are reading it in a RGB, and the one more channel, that is alpha channel, has been included in your image. Okay, so I'm using 1, so it means that I'm reading that image in a RGB format. So the next line in my program is the, I want to draw a line, a simple line on the image. Okay, so that image variable, it is the first argument to the line function. To draw the line, actually there is one function available into CV2 library, that is line function. Very first argument is the img. Img represent, it is on which image you want to draw that particular line. The second argument is the starting point or the starting coordinate of the line. The next argument is the ending coordinate of the line. The next argument is the color of the line. Suppose if you want to draw the red line, then you should give here the 0 comma 0 comma 255. Here the red component or the red value I am giving at the last, because it is not RGB format. The color always you have to give in terms of the BGR format. So very first one is the blue value, second one is the green value, and the third one is the gray value, and the last argument of the line function is the thickness. So we'll check out after, and the remaining programming line, you know that I am show and the wait key and the destroy all methods. Okay, so we are trying to execute this program. Just click on the run and the run. Now I want to execute the geometric shapes, so just click on the geometric shapes, and you can see here the red line is, you can draw on your existing image. The starting is the, just that you have mentioned as a 2020, this is the 2020, and the last one is the 100. Okay, so in this way you can draw the line on your image. Now the next one is the how to draw the arrowed line. The arrowed line means it is a very simple line, but it is having the arrow. So again the its argument are again very easy. The very first argument is the image on which you want to draw the arrowed line. The next argument is the starting point. The end argument is the where that arrow is ended, and the next one is the your color of your arrowed line. Here I am giving the color as a green color because the BGR format, and the last one is the your thickness. So let us again run this and let it check it. The arrow line will be drawn on your image or not. So you can see here the arrow line has been drawn. So the starting point that you have mentioned as a 50-50, and the end is the 200 and 230. Okay, so in this way you can draw the arrowed line on your image. Now the next one is the how to draw the rectangle on your image. To draw the rectangle, actually again there is one function named as a rectangle function. So you have to execute the cv2.rectangle. Very first argument is the img. The next argument is the, actually, your first coordinate of your uh, rectangle, and the next argument is your last argument, the last point of your rectangle. So if this is, suppose this is the rectangle, consider this is a rectangle. So this 50-50 is nothing but this point, the starting point, and 150-150 is the nothing but your this last point. Okay, so it means that using this first and last point, actually you can calculate easily the width and height of your rectangle. The next argument is the color of your rectangle, and the last one is your thickness of your rectangle. Now the next one is the just try to run this program and see that rectangle has been drawn on your image or not. Yeah, you can see here the rectangle has been drawn with a thickness of 5. As you can see that if I am increasing the thickness here, if I am increasing the last argument, the thickness has been increased here. Now the next one is the image circle. How to draw the circle? Now to draw the circle, actually again there is a simple function circle. The very first argument of the circle function is the img. The next argument, the second argument, is the centroid of your circle, where you want to have the centroid of your circle. So my center I am mentioning as a third 300. So at the pixel 300, your circle centroid has been placed. And the next one is the radius of the circle. What is the radius of circle? Then after that, the color by which you want to draw the circle, and the last one is the your thickness. Okay, very simple way we have written here the circle function. Now the next one is we need to try this. Is it circle has been drawn? Yeah, the circle is perfectly drawn with the centroid of the 300, and you can see here all the green value is available all the that with the thickness 6 here. Okay, so it is very easy to draw the different geometric shapes on the your image. It is very important to know this all the basics, because when we are going to the advanced topic and when you want to indicate something on your image, then these geometric shapes plays a very vital role. You have to draw the rectangle when there is a face is detected. You want to draw a circle, suppose if some object has been detected. The last one in your geometric shape is the how to put a text on your image. So to take a put text on your image, there is a function name as a put text. So cv2.putText is the function. Very first argument is the image. The second argument is the text that you want to place on your image. The next argument is the starting position of your text, starting position from where your text started. The next one is the font on by which you want to display your text. So there are the different forms are available. You can have a combination of the different forms, bold, italic, and you can have these different types. The next one is the size of the font. Here I am placing the font size of the font as a 3. And the second last is the color by which you want to display the text, and the last one is the thickness. Here I'm placing as a 3. Okay, suppose if I'm placing the thickness as a 4, so you can check it out here. OpenCV should be drawn on your image starting from the coordinate 10 comma 100. So let's check it. OpenCV is displaying in your image or not. Yes, the OpenCV has been displayed with the blue color because I have mentioned here 255,0,0. So OpenCV is the color on which you can now play with this. You can actually change the font size. If I'm changing the font size as 2, then just check it, your font size get becomes smaller. Okay, so you depending on whatever the font size you are giving, that text will be get displayed on your image. Now the next one is the if you don't have the image and if you want to play with these geometric shapes, then how to play? You can create your own image also. So you can create one black image. How to create a black image we'll see here. Using the NumPy library, we can create a one matrix having all zeros, and 0 is nothing but the black pixel, and the 255 represent the white pixel. So I want to create one image having the size 512 by 512, which is having the 3 channel, and every coordinate of your matrix contains the 0. So that's why we need to take the help of the NumPy library. So import NumPy as MP. I have imported that NumPy, and using that mp.zeros, I am actually using this 0 function, and I am passing the first argument as a the list, that is 512 comma 512 comma 3, which represent the first two represent the size of the matrix 512 by 512, that is 512 rows and 512 columns, and there are the 3 channels are there. So it is a three-dimensional matrix get created, all containing the zeros, and this the size of the every pixel is the uint 8, that is 8 bit. Okay, so unsigned integer 8. So here the black image has been created, and on that black image actually I am drawing this all the remaining geometric shapes. Let's check it and how it is the output. Yeah, you can see here all the that geometric shape that we have earlier drawn, it is been drawn on the black image here. So it is a way to create a black image. Now we can also create the white image also. To create a white image, actually we need to create a matrix of size 512 by 512 and having the 3 channel, but every pixel should have the 255 inside it. So 255 actually matrix we can't create, so that's why we are creating the matrix of ones. We are creating the matrix of ones, all contains ones, and we are doing a scalar multiplication, multiplying every pixel by 255. So every pixel get multiplied by 255, so it becomes 255, and you can see here I have created one image having the size 512 by 512, having the each pixel value as a 255, and 255 represent white image. So that's why this white image has been displayed. Let's check it. Yeah, now you can see here previously it is a black image, but the now it is a white canvas has been you can see here on an image. Using this white canvas, now you can play with the different geometric shapes. Now next is the regarding to the how to add a text to video. Now to adding a text to the video, actually the same code that we have done in the second session, that is we need to capture the live stream by using the function video capture, and the 0 we are providing as an argument. 0 represent the device ID. Actually 0 represent your primary camera, 1 represent your secondary camera. So that video capture instance I'm capturing into the cap variable. Here I'm actually printing the width and height by using the property cap underscore prop underscore prep underscore width, and the prop underscore cap underscore prop underscore prep underscore height. Okay, so here height and the width get displayed. Then after that, if the cap is open, that is if you get the instance of your web camera, then you will go inside and you are reading the one frame, you are reading the first frame. The read function will returning the two parameter. The first one is ret and the frame. If the frame is the valid frame, then the ret contains true. If it is not valid, then ret contains false. So if it is a true frame, if it is a correct frame, then it will go inside. Here we have created the font that we need to actually place the text on your video or your frame. The next one is the I am actually I am taking the current date and time. I'm taking the current date and time by using the function, by using the library date time. So that's why you need to first import the date time library. then after that datetime.datetime.now, using this function, actually that now function, you will get the current timestamp in terms of the date as well as the time. So and this I am converting into the string, and that it is stored into the date t variable. Now here what we need to do here, we need to put a text on your frame. So that's why you need to first call the put text function. Very first argument is the frame on which you want to write your date, and then the second argument is the text, that is your date. The next argument is your starting point of your text. Next is the font, the next one is the font size, the next one is the your color, next one is your thickness, the last one is your the type of the line. cv2 dot line underscore aa, it is the type of the line that you want to draw. This the last one is the optional, it is the optional. The next one is the you are showing that frame, and the remaining, you know that cv2 dot wait key, if you are pressing q then it is break, and if there is no valid frame then it is also break. Then after that you are releasing the cap, and after that again you are destroying the all windows. So check out this is being what is the output of this program. So I'm running this program. So you can check it out here. The red on the in the red color, actually the date has been displayed as well as the time has been displayed here. Continuously this millisecond is being you can display here. Now we don't require the millisecond, so what we can do, we can slice this image, slice this text or the string which is stored in your date t. So I'm only placing the first 19 characters. So I want only first 19 characters, so that's why I'm slice with this 0 colon 19. So again check it. Yeah, now you can see here it is a perfect output. It is first date get displayed, and then after that time get displayed in terms of the seconds only. So you can see here it is a, you can say, a live image having the your seconds and the date time has been displayed here. Next one is the how to set the different properties of your video. So this three lines is the same as that of your actually included in your last program, that is cv2.video capture 0. We are capturing from the basic camera, and we are getting the different properties like width and height. Now this width and height is the name of the property, but there is one constant number is also given to access these properties. Like width has given the number as a 3 and the height has given the number 4. So the in this actually cap.get, the get function is getting the what is the width and height, and the set function, using the set function we can set the particular properties. Like if the width and height is 1280 by 720, and suppose if I want to set that property to width is 640 and the height is 480, then I can set by using the set function. So cap.set will set that particular property. So which property you want to set, just you have to mention as a first argument, and what value you want to store inside it, you just have to place it here. Then after that again you are getting the property, and you can check that that property has been set perfectly or not. And the remaining is the very simple program, that is you are reading the your frame, and if the frame is the valid frame, then you are converting into the grayscale, and that grayscale frame you are displaying here, and if you are pressing q then it is get destroyed. Okay, and the cap is also get released. So just let us try to run this program. The program name is the camera setting. Okay, so now you can see here the my camera properties are the width is 1280 and the height is 720, but now I have set it as a 640 and the height is 480. Now you can see here that window is also get smaller because of I have modified the width and height of my frame or width and height of my video. Okay, so in this way actually we have learned here that how to change the camera properties by using the set function. Now the next one is the how to capture the mouse click events. So for that purpose again we are reading the one image on which we are capturing the camera, we are capturing the your mouse click event, then that image is displayed, and then after that one function, special function that we require, that is set mouse callback. This function will be called when there is any mouse event like your click event, right click event, left click event or double click event. So this function will be called every time when there is a mouse click event. So on which image I want to set a mouse callback, so image, so you can get it here from here. This is in window name, the same window name you can put it here. Then after that the second argument of this function is the which function you need to call when there is a mouse event. So here click event, this definition we have written here. It is having the five arguments. First one is the event, which event has been occurred. The next one is the coordinates at which that event occurred, the flags and the parameters. The next one is the in the definition or in the function itself. First we need to check that which event is occurred. If the event occurred is if the event occurred is the event underscore left button down. This event underscore L button down event is nothing but the left click event. So if there is a left click, then what happened? We are actually capturing the X and Y at which you have actually clicked that left click. Then after that, whatever that X and Y I'm putting into your image. The next one is the next event I'm capturing as a right button down. If there is a right button down event, then at that particular xy, what is the blue value, green value and red value that I am capturing here. At the zeroth layer there is a blue value, at the first layer it is a green value, and at the second layer it is a red value. So I'm capturing it into the different variable blue, green and red. I'm making the one string by using that value, and that particular string being displayed in your text as well. So let's check it and try to run this program. After running this program, what happened? This lina.image, this has been actually get shown. But what happened? If there is a mouse click event, and what mouse click event, there is a left button down. If I am clicking left button, then let's see what happened. Okay, so here what happened? Whatever the X and Y get actually printed here. Whenever you are clicking that left button, your X and Y value get printed there. And we will check at the right button. When you click the right button, whatever here in the yellow, actually in the yellow color, the blue value, green value and the red value get displayed here. You can check it out here. So it is 128, 128, 127 and 212. Okay, so here again 126, 129, 21227. So to actually get the exact value of your BGR pixel, you can use this mouse click event, as well as to know the coordinate of the particular pixel, you can also use this method. Now the next one is the different image methods. We will see here, if you are reading the image, then there are the different attributes related to the image. Very first attribute is the shape attribute, second attribute is the size attribute, and the third attribute is the d-type attribute. The shape represent how many rows, how many columns, and how many channels present in your image. The size represent the total number of pixel count in your image. The d-type represent the data type of the pixel. So every pixel is having the, what is the data type, that is the 8-bit or the 16-bit. So let's check it and run this program. Let's check it and run this program. By click on the run, and I want to run the image method. So you can see here the shape is the, you can see here the shape is the 512 by 512 by 3. So it means that the number of rows is 512, the number of columns is 512, and there are 3 channels. And what about the size? The size means pixel count. The total number of pixel, you can see here 7,86,432, and the data type is the unsigned integer 8. So every pixel is having the unsigned integer 8 data type. To store the every pixel, actually we require the 8-bit in a 3 channel. Now the next method is the BGR. How to split the BGR value from the image. So that's why we require the one method, special method known as a split method. This split method, what is doing, it actually separate, or it split the 3 channels, different channels, and we will get that channel in a, as a separate uh, variables. So blue values we are getting in a B, G value we are getting in G, and R value we are getting in R. Then after that, we can see here there is again merge function is also available, cv2.merge. This merge function is doing whatever the 3 values are there, BGR values, it is get merged, and you are getting again the one image. So we'll try to run this program. So what should be the output? The output should be the, we are splitting the image and we are merging the image, so output should be the same. Okay, so you are getting here the same output here. Now what I'm doing here, I'm making one layer which contains all the zeros, and suppose instead of the blue value I'm placing that zeros, so it means that there is no blue component into the image. So let's check it. Now only green and red component this image is having. So let's check it. You can see here my image is not having any blue component, it is only having the red and the green component. You can see at the bottom here, B is always 0. Whenever you are going, B is always 0. As well as you can remove any channel from your image. Now the last one is the how to resize the image. Now before this, the size of this Lena.image is the 512 by 512, and let's check it is get resize or not. If it is resize, then we can print it this one again. Third printf is the your resize. Okay, so you can see here my image again gets smaller, and here The very first one is the size is the 512 512. Now it is 256 by 256. So in this way you can actually play with your different properties of your image, and you can resize the image as well as you can split the different channels present in the image. So thank